Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Yesterday doesn't matter, it only serves as a ladder. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, so make your plans accordingly. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Grand Rising, today is a new day to start again. It is 9/16/2024. This is my new welcome video. I'm going to do this free form. This is my second take because I couldn't remember the date, but I'm going to try to do this in one flow. I am going to reopen my YouTube channel after closing it down. I closed down all of my social media. I've tried to do this a couple different times because I do have a lot to say, but the last thing I want to do is be divisive. And also, my previous videos had a very negative effect on my life. And although that journey was necessary to get me to where I am today, is a new day to start again, I have tried to figure out, using my logic and discernment, the best way for me to carry this message that I want to carry. And the message is really simple. It's love. And I think that love has been co-opted and redefined by our society, and that's one of the big problems that we have. Because I think what I've found through logic is that love is the most important thing that we have to give as a being on this earth. And the reason why I got to that place was I have found that no matter how difficult things are, love still is there. So what I'm going to focus on, at least at the beginning of reopening my YouTube channel, is my concept of love and where I got that from. And one of the big components that's helped me is understanding Socrates and understanding, it's called Plato's Symposium. And I have really dedicated a lot of my ideas to the foundation of what Socrates' interpretation according to Plato's Symposium. When I looked into Plato's Symposium, what I did find was, like most things, it is not based in verifiable documentation. Essentially, what we have is a story, and we have characters in the story, and we have themes, and to take it as gospel, so to speak, is not using your logic, because if you really dissect where most things that we have in our culture come from, there is not like a quill to paper from a verifiable source on any of it. That being said, there is a lot to be gained from it. The reason why I want to focus on love, or eros, is because I have a belief that at one time that was the capital. The ability to use logic, the law of identity, the law of property, and the idea of what our purpose here is on this realm bases itself in love. And I think that if we can find a way to make that our primary focus, things will take care of itself. So I'm not going to get real in depth into my interpretations of love or how I got there in this video, but I will moving forward. So I was talking a lot. That's what I was doing when I first started doing my Today is a New Day to Start Again. I started to focus on the Tao Te Ching, which also is a very big component of where I have gotten to in my purpose in my life. And I will revisit that and probably talk quite a bit about that in the process of trying to bring out my message. The other main problem that I have is I have issues with the main pillars of our society. And oftentimes when I'm trying to convey this message of love, in doing so, I bring up things that I believe distract from that primary focus that we're supposed to have. So I'm going to try to find a way for me not to alienate my message, because I think it's pure. So that's kind of where we're at. As I'm doing these videos moving forward, I'm going to try to stay off of my personal life. But what I will say is, during my journey of following this, I have found that I've followed a similar path to a lot of people in history, according to the narrative, that have came to the same similar resonance that I have now. And it seems that you have to cause yourself pain, so to speak, in order for you to find how to transmute that pain into something that is beneficial and inspiring, which is what I truly want to do, is inspire. I want to leave behind the shame. I want to leave behind the things that I've done wrong, and try with my best efforts to move forward in a way that helps to bring forth love. And I believe I believe all of these words are very powerful. And it's very difficult because there's something called semantics, which has almost opposing meanings sometimes between what words say and what words mean. So is one of them. There's even different spellings of the same word. There's so much power in that, but most of our power comes from our intent and our attention, where we're putting our attention. So I don't really look at anything in multimedia. I don't look at anything in popular culture anymore, even though I think there's truth in all of it. But I have found that I want to stay more centered. So I am really into more classical types of interpretation of life. I try to get into meditation on a daily basis. I try to focus on things that I'm drawn to. But more often than not, my main primary focus is to try to bring myself to the present moment, use my discernment of everything that I have learned and forgotten up until the point that I'm currently at, and use that discernment to decide what is necessary for me to do, what is it that I'm called to do. And I'm really struggling with trying to bring my voice out because I've been hurt so bad, and I've hurt other people in just me trying to find this truth. But I do feel called to stand on my truth and to do my best to bring that out. And that is love, being very attentive to the moment and being grateful for the opportunity to live in this time. I'm not going to focus on the difficulties or the overwhelming situation that feels like, what can I possibly do? I'm going to just start doing it. And I believe that I've gained the ability to discern and hold myself accountable for what I say and how I act moving forward. And that's my main goal. So moving forward, I am going to start focusing on what I want to talk about each day. And I'm going to think about what happened yesterday. I'm going to think about what I have moving forward tomorrow. But these videos are going to be done in the mornings. I'm going to try to keep them somewhat short. I don't have a real plan. That's how I first started it. When I first started doing Today is a New Day to Start Again, my plan is to just do it. kind of like Nike. And I am going to use metaphors and allegories and use things that resonate with me to try to bring forth this idea of love. That is the capital that I'm trying to use, is love and understanding and empathy. And that is something that's really important to me. So I know that in the beginning, I'm going to focus on Eros, the idea of what Eros is, Plato's Symposium. I'm going to really focus on that over the next few weeks. I will read the Plato's Symposium myself again and try to understand where it came from. I'll talk a little bit about that, but I encourage you guys to do so as well. Plato's Symposium has a lot of different analysis videos on YouTube that you can look at. Be very careful. It's weird for me now. When I am listening to people, I almost can hear it in the voice of whether I want to continue listening anymore. But I do think that there's value in everything, and everyone is trying to bring forth something to the world whenever they're speaking out. So there's value in all of it. It's very important, I think, to even force yourself to listen sometimes to things that contradict what your main thoughts are, because in that you might find something that shows you where you might be blind. And I don't want to be blind anymore, and I don't want to be silent anymore. I believe what I bring forth is something that is valuable. So if you like what I have to say, continue liking it. Like it on my videos. That helps me a lot to continue moving forward. But although I hurt myself in my previous attempt at this, and I had this I don't care attitude, I do care, and I don't want to hurt myself anymore. So I have two lives that I'm living right now. I'm living this life of me trying to become more socially acceptable so I can stand up and people will hear what I have to say. And at the same time, I want to be genuine in what I have to say. And sometimes that's very difficult to do in the normal world that we live in. So I don't want to contradict the two things. I don't want to sacrifice what I'm trying to achieve on this day-to-day basis of living in a way that is dedicated to love. But I also know that I have to do things that in the day-to-day life that I have to live, sometimes I must contradict, and that is just a necessary thing that has to happen. So hopefully I can counteract that with me speaking my truth through these videos. And it does make me feel better. One of the things that has helped me during my journey of going through a lot of pain was my ability to come on here and say the things that I want to say. But it does feel like sometimes I was hurting people because either they didn't understand what I was trying to say or they didn't understand my intent. My intent is to bring forth love and to embody love. And maybe to even, in the people that are listening to me, help redefine what love actually is. And that's my main purpose. And to remind myself every day to be grateful for this opportunity and to realign myself each day to focus on the date hand and prioritize according to what is necessary each day. Hey, I kept this under 15 minutes. This is my new welcome video. I know I've started and stopped again several different times, and I know that I can seem flaky, but sometimes truth is difficult, and that's what I'm trying to do, is focus on that. So that's my intent moving forward. I hope everybody has an awesome day out there. Today is a new day to start again. Be grateful for what you have and move forward with love.